What's going on, everybody? You're listening to a recap episode of Walk-Ins Welcome, where we are bringing everything Urgent Care Association related from the past Urgent Care Association Expo that we just got back from in Las Vegas.
Yeah, and so Vegas is a great time for us. We had a lot of fun. Grace and Hannah went with us as well. They had a lot of fun too, for sure.
They're like, best meal ever,
yeah,
best time ever,
and all the
and
fun.
I could literally see the bags under my eyes right now. And we're now day 2 removed from the event.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, when you go out west and it's like dry and there's no allergies, and you come back here, it's green and there's still pollen, like. It's a lot. Anyway, but we enjoyed it. We had a blast. We want to talk about it because I know some of the listeners on here have thought about the UCA conference, but they're like, this is what we do. Every time we ask a potential person, they're like, yeah, we don't have time to go. Well, here's us saying you might want to reconsider that because there's some great things that we saw over the past couple of days. And generally speaking, I have yet to meet a clinic so yeah, that was a waste of my time.
Right, like exactly.
They all liked it. But so we'll get into it though. But yeah, talking about Vegas. I think the best way that trip started was we landed, and then the Southwest attendant person said, "Welcome to Las Vegas, the city of lost wages."
Lost wages, and boy, is that true?
And yeah, definitely true. I lost all of $20 on a slot machine. You lost all of 50.
No, I lost less than I thought because I said, you know what, I don't have enough poker chips here to go cash in without being embarrassed.
Yeah.
But it turns out one of those was a $25 chip.
Whoops.
And the other one was a $10 chip.
Oh, they gave you back more money.
So I actually got 35 of my 60 back.
Oh.
So I didn't lose. So I only lost $25.
So that's pretty good.
I could have played some more and didn't. Although arguably I said hit and she didn't.
I saw the tap.
I was like, come on.
Maybe she felt bad for you.
And I really didn't want to get into a fight with they'll kick me out. House wins every time.
Yeah. Yeah. So Vegas is a great place. If y'all haven't been to Vegas, we encourage it. It's a lot.
So let's talk about the fun things that we did before we talk about the event itself, because we had a blast.
We did have a blast.
If you're going to go to Vegas, take people that you care about, man. And what I'm talking about is like, take the people on your team that need to know that you care about them. They can add value to the event, and they can bring value to the people that you're trying to be around.
And you don't mind hanging out with.
Yeah, and they don't suck.
That's the other side.
Michael and I have 2 different approaches to that. You don't mind hanging out with them. No, they don't suck.
Yeah, exactly. But and also too, I was telling my wife about this. I said I want to go back to Vegas, but if we ever go, we have to have a planned show every night.
Yes,
because you'll find yourself just walking to death, not knowing what to do. So big shout out to Kim, who was unable to go with us, but she planned the trip for us. So we had a very nice PDF itinerary. But
there is one thing about this trip that was better than the last one, is there were gaps in our itinerary.
Yes, and that's actually a plus to the UCA. They rearranged the expo stuff, which it gave us more time back, which was nice. But anyway, yeah, so some of the things, fun things to do. Ate lots of food.
We did.
Holy cow, the food in Las Vegas is a lot heavier than what we're used to. It's weird that you're giving all this food. I didn't like much, and you start eating like, oh, I can only eat half of this. I don't know why.
I know, man. They have the density levels of their food are different.
Yeah, they are.
I'm like, I was telling you a story. Like, I got this thing called a brookie, which is like a brownie cookie thing, and it looked like the shape of like maybe a little bigger cookie. You know?
Yeah.
Man, I was 4 bites in, and I was stuffed. I'm like, I can't even fit anymore in my body. Well, I got lockjaw going on. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it was funny because like I got like that same place. I got their like ham cheese croissant thing.
It's like that much
and there was probably about a half a pound of ham on it. Like, and I'm not even joking. Like.
It better be if they're going to charge you like $18 for it. $18 for a croissant.
But some of the cool things that we did, the Sphere was super cool, which is the giant LED globe that sits in the middle of the city. Very cool on the inside. I had a robot interaction thing, an avatar thing. The actual video movie that we watched was crazy.
Yeah.
There's actually a really fun thing where Hannah was like, it was like a giraffe coming on top of you.
She'll put it out on TikTok.
She'll put it out there. So that was a blast. Recommend that for sure. And they do like a show every night, so it's super easy to get into. Hell's Kitchen.
Well, let me get to the Sphere for a second. I remember walking into the Sphere where you actually watched the video, right?
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, it's been a long time since I've thought this. I'm about to see something for the first, like I'm about to experience something new.
Yeah.
Like if it felt like something I was walking into another planet.
Yeah, because for those who have done like an IMAX, so take IMAX,
Stack like 5 of them,
but put like 5 or 10, like it comes above you, right? Like over your head. It's so large that your vision almost cuts out almost the entire vision that you have is the screen. So it's very like almost wearing like virtual goggles type of thing,
right?
VR headset stuff.
Not wearing them.
Yeah, but it was cool, like super cool. Enjoyed that. Definitely recommend it. Hell's Kitchen, we were marking as one of the best meals we've ever had.
Yeah, it was outstanding, no doubt.
Beef Wellington is legit.
Yep,
I recommend that. Other things though, so let's see, what was the other? There was one other thing we did.
They went to the RuPaul's.
Oh yeah, we didn't
drag show.
There was a RuPaul.
The other team members did.
They're like, you want to go? I was like, no, we'll take our wives next time.
Yeah,
and I think that was a good decision on our
Yeah,
part.
I think I made the right choice.
But they said it was a blast.
Yeah.
And then for the Donny Osmond people up there, so our hotel was in the Harris Hotel, which has Donny Osmond, and we spent like half time like, where is this place inside this hotel? And we found it, and then if you are a Masked Singer fan, they actually had the whole outfit out there to look at and stuff.
The whole peacock thing.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But overall, absolute blast. The Wax Museum was super cool. Enjoyed that. I was hoping for more.
Yeah, it was very fast.
It was a lot faster.
It was expensive and fast.
Yeah, but it was cool. Like the level of detail was amazing. Anyway, Vegas is a nutshell. We always
quick note on that: everybody's short, except for like Shaquille O'Neal. Everybody is
and The Rock. Shaquille O'Neal and The Rock, they're tall, but like everybody is short. Like I felt so huge compared to some of these, especially the female ones. Like I was like,
I mean, they're tiny,
the tiny. But and then also as a side note for the pawn stars out there, we went to the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop, which was super cool. Had fun with that. Even bought something, which was cool.
Did you got to Courtney yet?
I did.
Okay, cool. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. All right. So Vegas as a whole, please go check it out anytime you like.
It sounds like we enjoyed that present way more than she did.
Correct. Yeah.
Did you get the wrong one?
No.
Okay,
it's a whole story.
We'll leave it at that. All right.
She hasn't listened to this podcast, so it's okay, but it's a whole story. The intention was very good.
Oh, man, we laid it up too. Like, anyway.
Yeah.
Let's keep going with this episode before it gets awkward and dark.
Anyway, so if you haven't been to Vegas, please go. Highly recommend it. Just be prepared for cigarette smoke and weed smells the whole time.
Yeah, secondhand high.
Secondhand high stuff and snakes on the streets. Like,
that was funny.
That was nowhere. And tons of just overstimulation. But recommend it. It's a blast. But let's talk about the UCA. So the UCA event usually is at Vegas, and it was this time. Next year's actually in Dallas, which we're excited to see what that's all about because I've never really been to Dallas. Have you?
Yes.
Been to Dallas? Okay.
But like forever ago.
Yeah, and I know it's changed. It's now like the new California.
Right.
But anyway, but UCA, what's the point of the event? So it is the Urgent Care Association's annual conference, and it is there to not only teach clinics new things and expose them to opportunities, but as they phrase it, it is their recharge event. And it's part of the recharge piece, which I know we're kind of going out of order here, but just the recharge side of it is they're wanting to kind of get you guys out of your clinic.
Yes. And you need to.
Because the reality is every day you're just sitting there going through patients, dealing with some employee drama, some
coding.
Medical. Yeah. Actually, HealthCon was there right next door, which was pretty cool, which is the massive medical coding event. It was huge.
How to get your doctors paid.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was a good little side-by-side event there.
Right.
But anyway, and we've talked to some of our clinics. Like we actually met a couple of clients down there, and we met some people we saw some people that we typically talk to, and they're all like, yeah, this actually is an opportunity for us to kind of step away, take a breather, learn what's on the horizon, get new ideas, all the things. So really encourage you guys, if you've thought about going, you're like, I don't have time, make time, because we can go ahead and tell you right now, just from our own personal experiences, you get a lot more out of something when you step away. So like when you step away from your clinic and then you start thinking about stuff, because now your mind's a little clearer. And when you come back, like, oh, I know how to fix this, or I have a brand new idea that's going to help us.
Well, I will tell you this, like when we take the team, our marketing team, outside of this office to do something, everybody gets excited, relationships are built. Even though it can be a work-related event, like everybody grows closer as a team. At least for us. I don't know what it's like for everybody, but some people don't like each other, I guess. I don't know. But like we don't. We like each other.
Yeah.
But it's going to get you out of the norm. And you know, I've always said this thing, the best things happen outside of your comfort zone.
Yes.
And your office, your clinic is your comfort zone. Like, I get that. That's where you need to be most of the time is in that area. But you don't stretch and grow there. You stretch and grow when you're around other people. I wrote down proximity principle. Like you're going to get around. What is the proximity principle? I can't define it. I'd have to go look it up real quick. But the proximity principle, kind of paraphrased, says that you're going to grow and change when you get, and more doors are going to open to you. More opportunities are going to come to you when you get around people that are either further along or in a different place than you are.
Yep.
When you get into proximity of those people, new things are going to happen for you. Mm-hmm. And as a clinic, you're getting around. Let's just say that you're listening right now and you have a 5-location clinic, and then you're sitting down next to, what is it, Ochsner? That may have 200 locations, or Fast Pace is there, or maybe it's a new clinic that's doing something completely different. And they all of a sudden you get this spark of an idea. Hey, we should add that into our clinic. You know, we had a conversation with one of our clients while we were there, and we talked about adding weight loss because of how quickly that can make them more money. And that was stemmed from another conversation that they had, just trying to be more profitable in their clinics.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is really one of those things, because if you surround yourself with, let's say you're a 5-location urgent care, and the only circle of influence you have are 5-location or smaller urgent cares, right? Mm-hmm. So your mindset goes, well, I'm the best one in this group, and you're not pushed anymore, right? So now you're surrounding yourself with all these like high number multi-locations, or ones that have sold out and they come back and start a new set.
Oh yeah,
like that's the whole thing, because now you're like, oh, I can get bigger. I'm not that big anymore. I mean, it's even ourselves. Like when we go to do our 7FA Miami event, we get surrounded, like we're small in comparison to our other mastermind people. And so like we get to hear the challenges and the opportunities there, because sometimes you think, well, I've done as much as I can. This is about as far as I can go with it. I'm going to just, that's it. I'm going to mail it in at that point.
And if that's how you feel, you're in the wrong room.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or if
you're not getting into more rooms.
Or as I always say, if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to go find a new room.
That's right.
And that's always going to be the case. Because I mean, you even take like a Steve Jobs situation, like he brought on people that were smarter than him so they could tell him he was wrong.
Right.
But anyway,
I've done good at that.
That's funny.
I hear that often.
Be quiet, Nick.
I may have heard that today.
Yeah, maybe. All right. So, but for us though, so like we're not urgent care owners. We're not doctors. We're part of the vendors. So we're part of the expo itself. And so here's the thing, just to kind of give the layout of what the UCA event's all about. So this time around it's at the Caesars Forum, which is the giant event center, and they have sessions all day. So the sessions are there to educate you on new opportunities, new processes, reminders of leadership. Our friend April Gilman Saul did a whole talk about cash flow and how to increase cash flow. And
right.
one of the things I saw in there on her little PDF was she had mentioned the idea of get out of your Google Sheets and get into the actual work and do it.
Right.
Because you can sit there and analyze stuff all day, but if you don't make an effort to change it, it's not going to change. And I can see that being a problem for people where they just look at, why isn't it better? These numbers never get better. Well, what have you done to make a difference?
That's right.
So that type of stuff is going on. And so those are opportunities for you to learn, to grow yourself from that side. And then there's the expo side. So the expo side is where we live. And so when you walk in, there's probably 100, 200 vendors, give or take.
Yeah.
Somewhere in between. And we're we're there to help sell. Like that's why we're there. Like we want to connect.
We want more urgent cares doing business with us. So we invest in the Urgent Care Association because it gives us the best proximity.
Yes.
To people who are likely to do business with us.
Exactly. And we're also like one of 2 marketing companies in that entire thing.
And shout out to Ira and his team because he did a great talk on occupational medicine.
And that's a huge thing. And
we've even talked about that on this podcast.
And he has a dedicated program toward Achmed, getting more patients via Achmed. So all that being said, so you walk in, you're an urgent care owner or you work for an urgent care or whatever, and you go in this expo and it's all these vendors all set up at these 10 by 10 booths. Some had larger booths, but most 10 by 10s. and you're looking for opportunity to make changes to your business. Because what we saw a lot of, so like I said, we were one of two marketing companies there. So we're in a lot of marketing. There was a print marketing guy too as well. So I guess three. Everyone else was about how to increase revenue or how to decrease your cost or increase your efficiency.
That's right.
It's about 90% of it. So, and that came into shape of get better equipment, get better software, or completely change your process, and this is how you do it.
Get better marketing.
Yeah, exactly. Get better marketing. So at the end of the day, like
answer your phone. There was a really cool one there that I can't wait to meet with next week that I'm working on a joint venture with.
Yeah.
Where they have AI answering service that'll start booking them into your calendars and everything. If you have trouble getting to your phone in your urgent care, I don't remember the full name. It's Flip something or other.
Flip AI.
Yeah, Flip AI, something like that. And they can flip that phone call into a booked appointment if you're having a hard time getting your. So that's the kind of stuff that we were exposed to that we would have never been exposed to otherwise.
Yeah, and I would say this: if you find that your clinic has 2 or more rings before somebody picks up, you should consider a solution like that. Anyway, another small thing too on the side, I forgot to mention. So the keynote speaker was Dr. Glucoma Flecken.
Yeah, he was a hoot.
He was and it was so funny because we had no idea. Like we're not doctors, so we don't get doctor comedy sometimes, right? Or we're not exposed to it through the algorithms. And so we're like, Glucoma, who is this guy? And he comes on. We look him up on TikTok. He has like 2.3 million followers. Like he's a big deal in the medical industry. And he's an actual doctor, and he knows what's funny to doctors, and he was killing it.
Right.
He spoke for about 45 minutes, and one, it's amazing the man was even alive. Like heart attack, testicular cancer twice, like all these things. Like he shouldn't.
I guess you only get it twice, really.
Yeah, right. He ran out. No more. Don't have to worry about it now. Yeah. But all that being said, but his stuff was great. Like it was fantastic. Like that is the caliber that UCA is bringing to the table, right? These are high end people that are very relevant. So it was super cool to see that.
I like the fact from a pure marketing perspective that he talked about leveraging social media to advocate for change in the healthcare space.
Yes, and because
he used comedy to wrap this all into one big bow to say you can exact change in your market or in your industry just by entertaining, educating, and executing.
Yep. And his live example or real life example was Aetna, where he had basically done a TikTok video of they've required pre-approvals on something random. It was very dumb what it was. And then basically he was the Aetna boss. He said, well, it makes us more money. Well, what about this? Well, that can make us more money too. And like that was the whole thing. So he actually received not necessarily a cease and desist from Aetna, but we're now the CEO is very mad at you type of message. Yeah. It was kind of fantastic.
But on the flip side of that, people are like, we've never seen anybody care so much. What you're doing makes a difference. And this is internal there.
Yeah.
Because even people at those companies, they know crap is going on. They know it's shady business. They understand the healthcare system.
Well, it's funny. He's like, well, in the past 5 minutes, Aetna's already made $1 billion. Or they said United, and everybody's like chuckling about United. Yeah. So as a consumer that has to pay these things as well, not the doctor, like we get it too. Like
right, for sure.
It's a joke sometimes on the insurance side. But anyway, but that's what you're getting at this event are these big names that are coming to talk relevant information that you can learn from. And then the expo, which is the solutions to some of your problems right there in front of you.
Well, the name of the event was called Recharge.
Yep.
Okay. And what was interesting about that is that it for a moment it sounded kind of gimmicky to me, like recharge your batteries and stuff like that, until we heard from not only our clients but people that visited our booth that said we actually feel like rejuvenated by coming here. Like this is a burst of energy for us. It's out of our clinic. It's out of our norm. We're excited. It feels a little new to us. Because we're getting around friends that maybe we made last year, or we're making new friends this year. I like the fact that it gets you the continuing education. We call it continuing education credits. Is that what it's called?
Or CME credits?
Yeah, something like that. Continuing medical education, something like that. So you can get your credits through that. Mm-hmm. But the relationships that you build while you're there, it was really nice last year when we went. It was the first time that we had ever went. We didn't know a soul, right? This year, we have friends that we've made over the course of a year now, just being exposed to them last year. And they're coming across from the room, they're high-fiving us and giving us hugs. And shout out to John, right? Who goes, hey, I was subscriber number 5 to your podcast.
Yeah. So,
which was awesome. And I'm like, that's because that came from a joke. But
so John Madden with Mercy Urgent Care, we know you're listening.
Hey, brother.
Hello. Thank you for being our 5th subscriber.
Yes.
But anyway, no, it's really weird, and it's weird and cool at the same time. They come up and say, hey, I've been listening to your podcast for 2 years.
Yeah, we got a few of those, and that was exciting for us.
Yeah, and also it's one of those opportunities, like sometimes you need the confirmation. Right? You need to be confirmed that people do care. And we're speaking into these microphones right now. We see numbers, but sometimes we don't know. But the fact that one of our clients was giving us a live testimonial in front of somebody else asking us about our services.
That was pretty cool, man. Yeah. Because that was not solicited. I'm over here talking to somebody about our services, and then our client, who's awesome, just David and Sharice, walk up, and David's over there like, man, these guys have done this, and this, and we love them and that kind of stuff. And we've got a great relationship with David.
He's even like, the biggest problem you're going to have with these guys, they're going to be waiting on you.
Yeah, that's actually
very true. Pretty consistent.
Yes.
But anyway, so like, it's just, at the end of the day, what we're trying to tell you, if you've thought about it but you pushed off, I'm too busy. Mm-hmm. You're not busy. Like, you're too. This is going to help with your busyness.
You have the wrong kind of busyness.
Yes, exactly. You filled your jar with the wrong things, and there's some big rocks in there that you just kind of left out. That one of them being a UCA event.
Here's another thing that I think happens whenever you go to these urgent care events is it confirms when you feel like you're not doing things right. And you start hearing people talk from stage, and you start having conversations with other urgent cares, and they're like, yeah, we're struggling with that too.
Yes.
And they may be a massive urgent care. Like, they may have 150 locations, and they may be struggling with the exact same thing that you're struggling with. And it makes you feel like you're not doing something wrong. Like, there's a solution, but I'm not really doing it wrong. It's just what it is. And we're going to have to solve for the problem, not fix that we're broken. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And I will tell you this, when we go to conferences just for marketing agencies, I feel this all the time. I leave with both encouraged and frustrated, because I'm like, I went there to solve that problem. It turns out everybody's got that same problem, so I'm not crazy.
Yeah, and that's such an encouraging feeling.
It is. Well, it's encouraging and discouraging.
Well, right.
It's like everybody's like, well, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
How did you fix it? I'm like, well, I haven't. I was going to ask you the same thing. But as an urgent care, I mean, if you're having coding issues and then you realize, yeah, that's not you, the system's broken.
Yeah.
Or here's something I hear a lot, and even heard it at the Urgent Care Association. Man, summers fall apart for the urgent care. Well, guess what? That's not you. That's everybody there, except for like if you're at the coast. The keynote speaker even talked about it from stage.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
I was like, and he was making jokes about how it's slow during the summer.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, like, because when we talk about that, we know you have slow summer hours.
Sure.
Go ahead and tell us what your summer hours are going to be. When we talk to potentials, like, which clinics do you tend to almost shut down during the summer? And then, like, some of the conversations that you had with some of the attendees was, hey, you're at this level, but I want to get you to 3 million. They're like, yeah, that's the number I want to get to. Like, how did you know? Like, because that's what urgent cares want out of a single location.
That's it.
We get those numbers because we've seen them. But yeah, I mean, once again, great event. We enjoyed it. We have lots of follow up with our 60 potential leads that we talked to. So we're excited to kind of see what we can do with them.
Lots of podcast guests.
Yes.
That this time, like last year, we had to be like, hey, do you want to come on our podcast? And this year it's like, hey, can we be on your podcast?
Yeah,
and I'm like, wow, that's different. I'm not used to that.
There were a couple of those, which is super cool.
It's like, okay, all right, yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know. Are you any good at what you do? Because I don't want to put you on there and mess up our extravagant reputation that we have.
It's so stellar. But no, it's true. So just as a pre-warning here, in the next 2 to 3 months, we're going to have quite a few guests on that were at the UCA event.
Some of them are urgent cares.
Yep.
Right. And we want to talk about how they're growing their urgent care, what they're doing, so that we can serve you from that perspective.
I need to get the guy. So there was one urgent care. He has some interest in working with this, but it was impressive. I've never seen an urgent care with 2,500 reviews with a 4.9 average rating.
That's a good point.
Like,
he was very good at getting his reviews.
And he had a really cool looking office too. So I was like,
well, one of them. One
of them.
One looked amazing. The other two were in strip centers.
Yeah.
Not that it didn't look amazing. It's just there's only so much you can do. To
One like a log cabin, which was pretty cool.
That's right.
But anyway, so like those type of people want to bring on because there's something they're doing that people don't realize, and we wanted to see like, can you kind of tell us? Because that's the best part with the urgent care world. Because I know if you're like, oh, I don't like competitors. Well, your competitor's only 5 miles. Like if they're not within 5 to 10 miles of you, they're not really a competitor anymore. So like we get that, and so that's the encouragement. Learn from your friends.
And I would also argue like a rising tide raises all ships.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
if somebody over here is doing well and willing to help you, and you give that back to them as well, and something that's working for you, that's better for everybody.
Everybody wins.
I just did a shout out for Ira over at Web for Doctors because the dude's doing good work on the Ahmed stuff. And why would I hold him back because we have competitive services? That would be stupid. You guys win when you get a full breadth of what's working out there.
Yeah, and it's now he's like a friend to us because even when we were in he would come and talk to us and back and forth, and he actually gave us some tidbits on like expectations on the speaking stuff in the future. We're like, oh, that makes more sense.
Good
now.
to know. Yeah, good to know.
So there was a lot of good stuff.
Because I was a little butthurt, to be honest with you, because I wanted to go up there and give a good presentation, and I didn't get that opportunity.
And he's like,
I gave one last year.
Well, and he even says like, you don't really repeat every year. I'm like, oh,
okay, good to know.
So anyway, all right, guys.
I wasn't that butthurt.
Well,
maybe a little bit.
All right. Anyway, so thank y'all for taking a listen to this episode. This is our final push. So please go visit the Urgent Care Association annual event if you can. Yep. It'll be in Dallas in May of next year, not April. I saw that push back again.
Okay, good. I get to go to Sun and Fun this year, next year then.
Yeah, you do, and not be worn out from travel.
That's right. That's right.
All right, guys. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Have a great week.